So good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Vice Chancellor of the IS University, Shri B.S. Yadavji, Pro Vice Chancellor Sunita Singh ji, Dr. R.K. Gupta, my friend and presently Director at MGI-RI Varda, my senior colleague, Dr. P.K. Srivastava, Registrar of the University, faculty and distinguished delegates and students participating in this national seminar. First of all, I thank IS University for inviting me to deliver talk on challenges in agriculture mechanization during and post COVID-19 era. Is it my slide is visible? Hello.
Yes,
sir, it is visible.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So as you can see, the topic of my talk, it may not be directly relevant to some of you. Some of you may be having some idea on this issue, but most of us are having very good idea about COVID-19 pandemic. So I would like to talk about the how COVID-19 has affected the agriculture mechanization scenario of our country. So actually, most of you have heard migration of the labor from the urban area to rural area at the start of this COVID-19 in the month of March, and it is expected that around 2 crore laborers have been migrated back to their native places. And due to migration of labor, it has created shortage of labor availability, particularly in some states like Punjab, Haryana, Gujarat, which depends on migrated laborers, particularly from the states of Uttar Pradesh, Bengal, Bihar, for different activities like post-harvest activities on which my friend Dr. Gupta may be talking about it, livestock management, marketing, and creation of agriculture infrastructures, particularly in these states. So that highlights the shortage of laborers, particularly in the states of like western states like Punjab, Haryana, and that highlights the need for going for engineering interventions with the introduction of high capacity, precision, and energy efficient farm implements and machinery. So today in my talk, I will be mainly giving focus on crop production machinery because my Dr. Gupta will be talking about the post-production machinery. So in some states there is shortage of labor, whereas in other states like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Bengal, Odisha, there is surplus labor due to migration of labor, particularly from the urban area, and that highlight the need for engaging the migrated labor for gainful employment. And you may have heard on news also, because particularly for the Uttar Pradesh state, that they are making all efforts to employ these migrated labor in their area, and those laborers can be employed even through one may have heard about Mr. Then about for the promotion of agro processing centers, and they have allocated around 1 lakh crore rupees, particularly for installation of cold storage as well as godowns and agro processing centers in rural areas. So that will provide the employment to the surplus labor which has returned back to some of the states. So in my presentation, I will be talking about mainly the machinery which are used for crop production and how this migration of labor has affected about the availability of those machinery in different parts of the country for land preparation and sowing operation, weeding and plant protection operation, irrigation and drainage engineering, and harvesting and threshing. How it has affected the custom hiring means custom hiring of farm machinery services in different parts of the country, and ultimately I will be talking about the how it has affected the tractor and farm machinery manufacturing industry in our country. So particularly for land preparation and sowing. Land preparation, you may be aware, preparation of the land for sowing seeds or planting seedlings. For that also different kinds of machinery are being used like plow, rotavator, cultivator, harrow, etc. These are some kind of machinery which are used for land preparation in our country. In addition to that, you may have heard about this shortage of labor, particularly for transplanting of rice seedlings in the states of Punjab, Haryana during this Kharif season, and that also highlighted the need for availability of rice transplanter. They were also available in limited number. Then there was shortage of migrated labor. Generally, those migrated labor from the states of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, they used to do the transplanting operations, particularly in these states. So there was shortage of labor availability. Then there was shortage of repair and maintenance facility also due to the lockdown. Now we are moving towards the lockdown unlock 4.0. So now most of the things are open, but that has created initially the shortage of even repair and maintenance facility, particularly for farm implements and machinery in most part of our country. So that has created opportunity, particularly for farm machinery. So that has created opportunity for use of rotavator instead of plow and cultivator. When we use rotavator, we can save the time as well as labor because rotavator can prepare the soil fine preparation. Like on the right hand side, you can see the photograph of the rotavator. It prepares fine land. Whereas if we go for plow, then first we have to go for plowing, then we have to use the cultivator, then we may again require to move cultivator, so that required number of operations. Another, if we use zero till means without tilling the field, if you directly sow the seeds, that requires some moisture content in the soil. For that we have zero till. Then another happy seeder is also there. Some of you may have heard about the use of happy seeder. Government recently central government has included happy seeder as one of the main machinery which can avoid the burning of crop residue, particularly in the states of Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh after the harvesting of rice, because the time period available for farmers to sow the wheat crop immediately after harvesting is very short. So farmers go for burning of crop residue, and if we use happy seeder, there is no need for burning of crop residue. Farmers can directly sow the crop in the field having the residue at the bottom photograph. You can see like that. So that addresses the issue of the labor availability as well as machine availability. Then if we go for use of multifunctional machinery like rototill drill, in that also that machines do the both operations simultaneously, means tilling the field and then sowing the seeds. Similar machine is strip till drill, cultivator cum planter, mulcher cum planter, super seeder. These are all equipments which carry out both the operations simultaneously, like preparation of field, the seeds. So that reduces the number of operations which are to be carried out, and that also addresses some of the problem of scarcity of labor, particularly for field preparation and sowing. Another, in some part you may have observed that skilled operator goes from even Punjab and Haryana to operate like combine and other machinery. So if farmers are trained and if they use their machinery by themselves, that will also address the issue of shortage of labor, particularly in some part of our country. Another is sharing and pooling of available machinery among farmers because machinery are limited. In addition to that, those machinery are also used for limited time in the field. So if farmers can pool the available machinery and share among themselves, that will also address the shortage of machinery availability. Another, like in Punjab and Haryana during this season, Kharif season, there was promotion, large-scale promotion of self-propelled work behind and riding type transplanters because labor was not available to carry out the manual transplanting of rice seedlings in the field. So around 25% of the area in those states have been brought under transplanting as well as direct seeding during this season. So we can go for direct seeding of rice in puddle soil. On the top, you can see the photographs. That is the paddy drum seeder that can drill the pre-germinated seed in the field, as well as we can go for dry seeding of rice in upland for like similar to like seed cum fertilizer drill. We have direct seeded rice drills. Those can be used for upland regions. And another, farmers can go for growing of short duration variety in kharif crops, which will be having longer window for harvesting, and that may not go to farmers to burning of the crop residue in the field. Another farmer, like in the some states, you may have observed that farmers depends a lot on growing of rice crops, and that requires a lot of labor. So farmers can shift to another crops like soybean or pigeon pea, particularly in the states like Madhya Pradesh, etc. Then the power tiller operated rotary tiller can be used in orchards for othering up operations. As I mentioned that we for planting also we can go for multifunctional machinery like bed former cum plastic mulch cum drip laying machine for vegetable production. So that will reduce the weed germination as well as that will conserve the moisture. And another, we can go for establishment of high-tech custom hiring centers or hub with specialized high-capacity machinery like rice transplanters with nursery sowing machine also, because rice transplanters required mat type nursery. So both go together. In addition to that, high-tech machinery like vegetable transplanter, pneumatic transplanters. So though those planters place seed at proper row to row as well as plant to plant spacing. Then sugarcane set cutter planters that reduce farmers can carry out number of operations like cutting of sets, then planting in the fields as well as making the ridge and covering the sets also. Then we can go for potato planter, offset rotavator. So such high-tech custom hiring machinery hubs may be established in different parts of the country. So that will address the issue of availability of labor as well as machinery. For weeding and plant protection. Weeding means removing of the unwanted plants from the field. And the plant protection means spraying of chemicals. Most of you may have seen even sprayers are being used for disinfection of different parts of our cities also during this COVID-19 period. So even that period has also created the scarcity of manual labor for operations like mechanical weeding, spraying and dusting, and even availability of machinery were also limited, particularly for carrying out these operations in some states. And that has created opportunity for use of combo machinery like seed drill or planter with herbicide application attachment. So at the right hand side top, you can see one seed cum fertilizer drill is there. With that, we have put the herbicide application attachment also, so it can carry out two operations simultaneously, means sowing of seeds as well as spraying of herbicide at the time of sowing. So here we can go for pre-emergence herbicide application in the field. So that reduces the labor requirement as well as machinery requirement to carry out two operations, because both the operations are carried out simultaneously. Then tractor operated air assisted or aeroblast sprayer can be used for fruit trees. That will also address the issue of the labor availability. Then you may have also observed the use of drones, particularly for doing photography in the marriage. But nowadays, drones are being used for particularly for spraying operations in some of the countries like China, India. India also the application of drones for spraying, but has been introduced, but that is also very limited and drones are costly. So if we can go for availability of such drones through custom hiring centers, then those drones can help in identification of disease, insect pest, and then spraying at the target location using such drones. Crop requires irrigation water for their optimum growth. And even during COVID period, there was scarcity of labor for carrying out such operations also, as well as scarcity of labor for machine availability of machinery, irrigation machinery, like even micro irrigation system like drip, sprinkler. You may have seen use of such technology, particularly for cultivation of vegetables and fruits. So in place of those equipment, farmers can go for use of rain guns for irrigation that reduces the labor requirement for installation and repair maintenance of like sprinkler system or even drip system. Then farmers can go for zero-till sowing of rabi crops, like I mentioned regarding sowing of wheat immediately after harvesting of rice crop. So when there was some moisture, that reduces the irrigation requirement at least 1 to 2 times if we use the zero-till machinery. If you go for covered cultivation using plastic mulch with drip irrigation and fertigation system, that will help in moisture conservation as well as that will reduce the weed growth also. Even nowadays, some farmers have started using the smart irrigation system, means they can remotely operate their pumps. At our institute also, we have installed the telemetry-based on-off control irrigation system that can be remotely controlled, and even it automatically put on and off based on the moisture availability in the field. Okay. Actually, I'm getting notification in between my presentation. Sorry. For harvesting and threshing, even you may when there was lockdown, particularly in the month of March, you may have heard that availability of harvesting machinery, generally you may have seen combines, bigger harvesters, which come mainly from Punjab and Haryana to throughout the country. So their availability has also reduced, because initially machinery availability was allowed under the essential services, but labor who are supposed to operate such a machinery like combine harvester but not allowed, and that had created the manual labor shortage of manual labor available for harvesting and threshing operations, particularly in some states at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic in the month of March, at the time of harvesting of wheat crop. So that has created the shortage of machinery operators as well as laborers, because such harvesters required skilled operators to operate such machinery, and those skilled operators mainly come from Punjab and Haryana. Even those machinery also come from Punjab and Haryana, particularly on customizing basis in some states. So there was shortage of machinery as well as availability of repair and those repair and maintenance facilities for those machinery. So that has also created opportunity for use of combine harvester with super SMS. Even in super SMS means at the back of the combine, one super straw management system is there. So that chops the straw which comes from the combine and it and uniformly spread it into the field. So we can go for sowing of wheat seeds without field preparation using the happy seeder. Or if straw load is low, we can use the even zero till drill also. So even Madhya Pradesh government is also promoting now use of combine harvesters with super SMS, and in the states like Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh, use of super SMS with combine has been made mandatory. Another tractor operated or tractor on top combine may be promoted because those combines are cheaper, so their availability may increase. Particularly in southern India, tractor on top combines are being used. Then there, due to shortage of labor, there will be more demand for straw reapers and straw balers. If we don't have like combines, then farmers can go for use of straw reaper. So that will also, and then straw balers, we can go for baling of the straw which has been harvested. So that will reduce the burning of crop residue in the fields. Nowadays, even reaper binders are also available. If farmers don't have availability of combines, they can go for reaper or reaper binders. Reaper binders are available even tractor operated or self-propelled. And because even in threshing also, number of laborers are required to feed the crop to the thresher. On the top, you can see the thresher with the auto feeding system. So only one labor will be required to feed the crop using such threshers. And the shortage of labor also highlights the need for going for automation. And in the automation nowadays, you may be hearing farming as a service. Means app-based applications are available. Like most of you may be ordering Ola and Uber using the apps. Now there are some apps like Tringo as well as JFarm. So farmers can also order the tractor as well as required machinery using such apps, but their availability is limited. But in future, we are expecting that more customizing service provider will be joining such aggregator platforms, and those services will be available to farmers, just like we get the Ola and Uber. Then there will be use of like technology like big data, because for example, farmers have, if they have the timely information regarding the availability of rainfall, etc., they can plan the crop to be sown in the fields, as well as timing of the sowing, as well as to carrying out different of applications. So that also requires data to be analyzed, like rainfall data of a particular area has to be analyzed, cropping pattern has to be studied. Even we can go for automated machinery with the use of IoT and AI, particularly for this carrying out the operations which are repetitive in nature, which are difficult to do using manual or mechanical machinery, like even coconut harvesting. It is not an easy task. So for such applications, we can use the IoT as well as AI, and we can make the machinery using such technologies, so those machinery will be having higher accuracy as well as higher productivity. And even we can use such technologies for storage structures also, so there we may get the alarm when there is infestation of any disease to the grains stored in the storage structure. Then, as I have mentioned, that if there is shortage of labor, if there is shortage of machinery, then we have to go for rental services. So that highlights the customizing of farm machinery. Government is putting a lot of focus on customizing of farm machinery, and that government is providing 40% subsidy from the central government. Even some states are giving top-up also subsidy, but even we have limited number of customer hiring centers, particularly of farm machinery in most part of our country. So there is need for increasing the custom hiring. centers, and even there is need for increase of customizing centers with specialized machinery like sugarcane harvesters, rice transplanters, because those are specialized machinery even for combine also. So that also creates the opportunity. Even nowadays, government is also putting a lot of focus on agro processing. Also, even our Prime Minister has also talked about it on his in his Independence Day speech also. So that will add value to the farm produce in the production catchment. If we go for agro processing of farm produce in the production catchment, so so that may even help in doubling the farmers' income as envisaged by Government of India by 2022. So when there was lockdown, there was restriction on the use of machinery as well as availability of labor for manufacturing different farm machinery as well as tractors. So even in the month of March, there was no sale of tractors as well as machinery. But in the month then in April, little bit machinery have been sold. In the month of July, you may have heard that even tractor sale has increased by 30% because in the month of March to April, March to June, there was low sale of such equipment. Even even those machinery manufacturers were not having skilled labor to operate their plants for some period, even those plants were also closed. So that has also created the shortage of availability of machinery as well as raw material used for production of such machinery. And even transport of machinery were also initially restricted. So that has also created opportunity for customizing centers because customizing centers were getting a lot of orders for use of such machinery in different parts of the country. Another that has also provided opportunity to small and medium scale agriculture machinery manufacturers which outsource or subcontract a few components of those machinery to some other entrepreneurs. So because in general they fabricate most of parts of their machinery in-house. So if they outsource to some other parties, then that will reduce the labor requirement for fabrication of different machinery. Even that has also highlighted the need for standardization of the components which are required for manufacturing of different farm machinery. In addition to that, even if we promote the manufacturing of multifunctional machinery, I mentioned that there are some machinery which doesn't require field preparation like super seeder, happy seeder, zero till deal. Even there are some machinery which carry out two operations like simultaneously like sowing and application of chemicals. So there is need for promotion of such machinery, so that will reduce the requirement of independent machinery for carrying out different operations as well as that will reduce the labor requirement for manufacturing of such equipments. So this is all in brief about my presentation. You may have questions related to my presentation.
Yes, thank you,
Thank you,
Raksha.
sir. The session was immensely knowledgeable and apt for the current scenario. And so we will be having question answers after next at the end of the session.
Okay.
Now, I would like to introduce our next keynote speaker, Dr. R.K. Gupta, Director MGIRI. Dr. R.K. Gupta has earned his PhD in food engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, as well as MTech degree in post-harvest engineering from same institution. Further, Dr. Gupta has also obtained postgraduate diploma in food processing management from International Institute of Management, Maastricht, the Netherlands. More than 36 years, he has engaged in research and development and training in the area of post-harvest processing and value addition of food crops. His areas of expertise are horticultural crop processing, oilseeds processing, coarse cereals including minor millets processing and value addition, novel products development. Dr. Gupta has published around 100 research papers in referred journals mostly in food processing and technology stream. He is also one of the authors of 5 books and had authorized many research bulletins, technical reports, and extension leaflets. He is a fellow of Indian Society of Agricultural Engineers, Institutions of Engineers, Biot Research Society, High-Tech Horticultural Society, and having other awards of professional societies. He is also life member of professional societies like ASAE, AFST, Biot Research Society, Oilseeds Research Society, and Research Association of Gender in Agriculture. He had opportunity to chair sessions as chairman, co-chairman of many national as well as international conferences, symposia. He has also visited Netherlands, England, Thailand, and Singapore for study and scientific meetings. He was member of Board of Management of prestigious institutions, namely Punjab Agricultural University, Ludhiana, and NIFTEM, Kundli, Haryana. Presently, he is Academic Council member of NIFTEM Kundli, Haryana, as well as Lovely Professional University, Phagwara, Punjab. Besides, he is chairman of Specialized Products Sessional Committee, FAT 24 of BIS, New Delhi, and Task Force member of one committee of MOP FPI, New Delhi expert member, Indo-US Joint Working Group on Agriculture under Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology, GOI. He was member for Working Group on Post-Harvest Technology and Value Addition for Haryana and a member of Research Council of CSIO, Chandigarh. He is member for QRT of ACAR NRC on Grapes, Pune. He is member of General Body of National Rural Livelihoods Promotion Society, NRLPS. He was also member of Indian delegation of Subcommittee on FST to ASEAN country and visited Thailand and Singapore for developing research proposals on food science and technology. Presently, he is holding a post of director, Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Rural Industrialization, a national institute under the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, Wardha, Maharashtra. It's an honor to witness your presence, sir. I would request you to kindly proceed with the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Honorable Chancellor Sir and Pro-Chancellor Madam, Registrar of the University, Dr. Mehta, my friends and Director CIE Bhopal, Professor Srivastava, my senior, faculty and students. So today, yes. So this is okay? Okay. So today I will talk. First of all, I thank to the university for providing me opportunity to be present today. And I think it is effort of Professor Srivastava, who has introduced me in this university, and with his efforts, I am now here. Today I will speak about little bit about the food processing and as well as the rural technology. So actually in food processing, as I came to know from Professor Srivastava that I think one or two speakers, they were all belongs to my previous institute, CFAT Ludhiana. They have spoken about this, but I will speak some different way. So see, this is the scenario of the food processing in the country. about 80%, whatever the raw material cereals we have, it is got processed. And if you take the case of pulses, it is 75%. And for oilseed, this figure is around 90%. But problem of this sector is that it is mostly on the unorganized sector. Around 42% people are also still this is organized. And another area, processing of fruit and vegetables is only around 7 and 8%. So before I move further, actually in these perishable crops or any food crops, there are losses and happens during the many unit operations, starting from your harvesting to consumption. So in my previous institute, the study has been worked out 2 times. And this is the first time in the country that authentic results were obtained. What is the losses of these commodities in the country? So it comes around 8 to 16%, or sometimes they quote about 18%. And different commodity, different losses were there. But actually, this figure you see, when you convert these losses in economic terms, that situation is very alarming. That time, I think when we have published the last data in 2014, losses were around 92,000 crores. I think because that time we have done the 2 studies. One was at 2010, another was in 2014. And if now they will do that study, I am sure that these losses will be more. So this is the alarming situation for all of us. We have to develop the appropriate value addition technology so that these losses can be minimized. And these are the normal unit operations, because my friend Dr. Mehta has covered about this before harvesting the things. So for the post-harvest, we start from harvesting. Even harvesting, they also count and we also count. But like this only. Harvesting, then collection, then we have to take it somewhere for minimal processing or little bit processing, then dyeing and finally packaging and transport and consumption. Then what value addition we do? Sometimes we do only minimal processing. If you grade your things, that is somewhat it is processed. Or you can develop some products. So these are the different processing steps. Nowadays, people are also working on the health club, because in this pandemic situation, people need a immunity enhancer and health. But see, this is the future needs of the food processing, if I can see it. For example, your population is growing. And what is happening, that what we have to do, that we have to reduce the post-harvest loss. And another thing is coming, that now people want a specific food. Food habits are changing. Nowadays, people want the processed food, value-added food. And then also the nutritional requirement is also major things which is happening nowadays. Everybody wants a food full of nutrition. So this means what I want to say that food habits are changing. So keeping in that mind, we have to, whatever technology, whatever intervention we have to do, we can think about this in food processing. Then another problem is this, that still in this area, we have to develop the more entrepreneurship. Technologies are there, but these technologies not have been gone to the actual users or end users. So this is also a area where we can work. And then nowadays people are very much conscious about the quality of the food. So means rapid testing of food is also necessary. Everybody wants that this food should be safe, it should be nutritional. So all these things, this is the new thing which is coming out in this field. Next, please. So what challenges we have in food processing? We should have a food post-harvest losses as minimum as, even we can assume sometimes 0 if possible in future. What will be, it will have the effect that farmers and growers will get a remunerative return for their produce. And we have to increase the processing level of specifically horticultural produce up to 70 to 80%. Then we have to think about the nutritional food. And as my friend Dr. Mehta was talking, we have to start the processing or value addition or whatever you want to do from the production catchment itself. So from mechanized production, we have to think about that. He was talking about this custom hiring center and all those things. So we can target from the farm itself. And whatever food we can provide, it should be safe, it should be quality food. And another area which is coming nowadays, that is the byproduct. Nowadays, if you ask any food processing person or any food industry person, he says that main product is not important for me. This byproduct is more important. For example, your citrus, that peel and everything is very important. It will give lot of valuable ingredients. So many, now even government is also thinking that we have to convert waste into wealth. So this is a very important now area in food processing. These are the few innovative technologies. Why I want to say the innovative technology? Because see that suppose you take a pomegranate, it is very difficult to take out the eggs. And if you can have some tools or some machine, so actually these are the very specific equipment which we have developed in the CPET. Because suppose one fruit is called the lychee. It is very difficult to remove this skin because all have a lot of moisture. So these are the new innovations. And why I am presenting here, because in this university, electronics people are there, mechanical engineering people are there. They can think it is about automation. So this thing actually, sometimes the electronic man say, no, what I can do in electrical engineering? No, he has a lot of role. Nowadays it's coming. Next, please. And this is the cluster apple. This was the problem came to us from a tribal area, that how you can take out the peel, intact peel of the cluster apple. So we have developed the machine. Similarly for the makhana. Next. And see, this is the garlic. If you take out the peel from the garlic, it is very difficult job. Even in your household, it is very difficult to take out the peel and other things of the garlic. So this is the machine, complete set has been developed, where you can break the bulb, you can take out the peel, and you can peel your garlic clove. You can sell it. I tell you, this is have a much demand in hotels and restaurants. They need those things. Then we have to develop the many fruits-based, cereal-based products. So all those things are there. People are asking about the multi-grains, this grain, that grain, soybean, groundnut, all those things you have to do this. So there is a opportunity for many people to enter in this field, because this food processing area, I think at least 10 years it will be the top field for the work and for the business. Next. Similarly, these are the other things. Suppose now they are exploring the very new raw material. For example, your ragi and all those things. In the case of ragi, this is they claim it is a diabetic, help in diabetic. So people, it is grown in Karnataka and other places, and it is available in only 22 rupees kg. But if you go to take a atta of this, you have to spend around 17 or 80 rupees depending upon the place. So these are the opportunity where you can do the value addition and you can get more detail. Next. I am just giving this a small example. This is a pineapple peeler, come scorer and slicer. It's a very simple tool. Why I am showing it? Because if any electronic boy who is studying in electronic engineering, if he can automate it, do the automation, some use the sensor or something like that. So he can enhance this effectiveness or its performance. So what I want to say that there is a role of, this is actually food processing as a mixture of the many engineering or many sciences also. Even biotechnology also comes under this. Food biochemistry also comes under this. Like that, engineering, they have also a role to play on this. Next. नहीं आगे then this is the actually see this is a simple invention made by some institute for this your fruit and vegetable washing. Nowadays, see, in this corona stage, I think everybody says, no, you should have a nicely washed fruits and vegetable and all those things. So these things have very relevance. I think people who must have saw the carrot washing, it is strategic. Lot of soil is there, but once it is washed, it is very good in color and all. So there is a lot of scope to work on that. Then what we think about this for this food processing, that whatever technology and machinery we have to develop, it should be high recovery and output. Actually, still what we have done, they are very small capacity and other things. So now we can think about some scaled up capacity and product recovery also. And whatever machine we can have, that should be energy efficient. Because if energy consumption is more, I think finally it is affecting your output and your benefit and all those things. And packaging is very important. Now people are the packaging system are coming like smart packaging, this packaging, that packaging. It's very big science in this. And I think now food processing people, they are actually interested to take the advanced technology for packaging because it enhances your shelf life of the product. Whatever you have, it is nicely packed, it can be kept for 2 weeks, 3 weeks like that. Then what this Professor Mehtaji was saying, actually, I also promoted this idea when I was in CIFAT Ludhiana, that where the crop is being produced, it should be at least primarily processed there. And I think Dr. Mehta was talking about this, that we should have some sort of processing centers nearby the production catch. So at least we can improve its value addition and finally it will go for the further operation. Next. So similarly, your food quality and safety, I told you that many organizations are working on that. And I think then another need is a rapid instrumentation for quality, because people cannot wait. If you have a electronic gadget which can tell the any impurity in your coriander powder or something, they will prefer to have. Then your health food. Actually, in earlier we thought a very big project on this health food, because what is the problem in the country? We have a health food. We import the health food, but they are very costly. So government was thinking that we should have a health food on a affordable cost. We should have our own plants and other things. So for that, some dialogues and some projects has been initiated, but it was not done in a full swing, but it is needed. And then I think testing facilities is also needed in many places. Although ICR is promoting about 30 places, they have established this quality testing laboratory, but still we need more. Next. Then what we have to think about that, we have to do the automation. We have to think about some alternate energy sources. Then we have to think about the packaging, and then also we have to think about your minimum use of water, because this is also a problem coming in big plants, that how we can recycle the water and how we can reuse it. Next. Then actually these are some advanced area in this in our country. We have to do it. Still, we have tried that we should make a high pressure processing equipment or vessel. Still people are working, but I think these are the areas where newcomer, new student, new scientists may be try, so that it will be made in our country. Then other things, omic heating, all those things are there, food irrigation, but these things need a more research, and what we are looking in food processing, that these gadgets should be made in affordable cost, so that we can use in our place in our country. Next. Then actually in this field, food processing, your entrepreneurship development, skill development is very much needed. For that, I think some university can start the certificate course, even diploma course, because we need, suppose some manager in factory manager there, he needs some sort of diploma course. And finally, even UG PG programs are there, but still Your certificate course and diploma course, I think these are lacking. They need some sort of certificate who's the worker, for skilled worker, or even for the operators and managers are like that. Next, then efficient technology transfer. It is known, everybody is doing that. That if we want to the our technology to go to the field, to go to the in hand of individuals, we should have efficient technology transfer mechanism. Next. So that was about the food processing part, which I was associated earlier. Now in my present job, because I'm working in this MSME Institute, and this is a very peculiar institute, Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Rural Industrialization. I think this is the only its kind institute in the country. So how we operate, just I will take a few minutes, that we have a Khadi and Textile Division, Bioprocessing and Herbal Division, Chemical Industries Division, Rural Craft and Engineering. This is a very important division. Then Energy and Infrastructure and Management and System. So this 6 divisions, because this institute was created under this MSME to cater the need of the Khadi and village industry. So accordingly, they have divided the divisions. Next, please. So what we are doing here, actually, we are not doing very lot that it should be published in a very referred journal like this, that. What the people are doing here, I have a few scientists in each division. They want to make a product and they want to disseminate among the individuals. And who are the individuals? There may be self-help group, they may be individual entrepreneurs, and they may be some farmers, innovative farmers. They used to come here because this is a government institute. So when they will get a certificate from this place, 4-5 days training certificate, they can get a, I think, loan easily from the financing institution. So, for example, now in this institute, that cow urine, cow milk based things are that is called the Panchagya. The very typical things, type of things. Panchagya Ayog is also there nowadays in the country. Kamdhenu Ayog. So we are making a, for example, your floor cleaner. Nowadays, totally whatever the things we have to do here, there is an instruction that you should give so many trainings in your sanitizer and your hand wash. So now we are doing that because this is a need for the hour. People need to fight with this pandemic. So our focus is now like this. So we make a Panchagya green flowers, then we make a agarbatti, lot of things we are making. Then some different types of manjan we make, conditioners, soaps. Suppose now our goat soap is very popular. So like that we do that. Even that now the government says, no, you only work for this, how you can promote the agarbatti manufacturing in the country, because they banned the agarbatti to take the agarbatti from China, then you have to make it. Now the instruction came that can you include your cow dung in agarbatti? So that research we are doing. So like this, what I want to say, we can only do, we are focusing those things where we can generate employment, especially your migrant laborers are there, entrepreneurs are there, and farmers are there. Next. Then this our craft division, what I was telling, that we work on the paper crafts, we work on this cotton craft, then your bamboo craft, जिसे आप खिलौना बोलते हैं. They also been designed and told to the people how you can do that. And even your those things, candles, all those things we make here. Soapies, pen stand, these are very innovative metal things, and your terracotta things. I think next I can show you. Next, these are suppose this is a bell metal based craft product. So people come here. They learn it about, for this training, they should be here at least for 45 days. Small, very low paid artisans, they come. Government provide some sort of help to them for accommodation and for their food. And they come here, they stay for 45 days. Finally, they make things like this. Either they make a bamboo craft or something like that. Next. This is the recently we have conducted for the your Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh Adivasi Sangh is there, so they have sent the people to 3 batches, and they have make a metal craft showpiece like this. And after 45 days, they go, they have a certificate, and I think then government is helping to get the finance to those people, and they are developing their business. Next. Like these other products also, so many self-help groups, women groups. Actually, nowadays, women groups are coming more to learn this, your cotton bags, your some jewelry things, and this your paper bags. So lot of things they are learning here. And after that, beauty is this, that people, they starting their small enterprise, either in a form of self-help group or individual enterprise, and they start earning something. Next. For the help of the entrepreneurs and the people who want to enter in this area, we have developed this Green Khadi Design. This is website. This is a web portal is there where you can download your design. Khadi designs are there. So many designs for your fashion design. And you can use them. And if you have some your innovative idea, you can put it here also. So many, especially girls students, they are interested to see those designs and for kids designs and a lot of things, and they can sometimes they practice it also. Next. Similarly, to help the people who are want to establish their enterprises in a rural areas or in a semi-urban areas or urban area, we have 2 portals. That is, one is called the Uddami Sahaya. Here, suppose they want have a certain enterprise, so what are the machinery available there? That is available there. And after that, one thing we are doing, suppose they make those products, so they can use our portal Rural Heart, and they can find the even purchaser also. Somebody, some client may come and they can order the things, whatever they have produced. Next. And this is the concept actually I am showing, that nowadays we are also started working. Suppose a turmeric, a simple example I am taking to complete this complete thing. How we can process this turmeric and make few equipment and machines for the village living. And this thing, you know, this is the dehydrated flour. It's a really very good craft. And now we are trying with the CSIR Institute that we can develop the craft made of this dehydrated flour. And this is beautiful. Anybody can enter in this business now. Next. So what do that after telling those technology, there is a lot of funding agencies are there. Actually, in our MSME ministry, there is one organization called this Khadi and Village Industries Commission. So they have PMEPG scheme. That is a Prime Minister Employment Generation Program. In every ministry is a district. Under this program, any individual can get a 25 lakh and they can establish their business. Even now, they have brought one new program, innovation program, where any student can get a 5 lakhs and he can put their idea, whatever he want to do. Then other banks are there. NABARD is there. DIC, MSME has opened in many places. Those institutes are there. They are also helping to the students, to the entrepreneurs, to the self-help group to get the funding. And then Ministry of Food Processing schemes are also there. Next. So finally, what I want to say, actually, this many times we have do the report about the National Plan for Improvement of Agro-Processing Clusters. But now the government has accepted this. And Ministry of Food Processing and Ministry of MSME, and I think Ministry of Agriculture also, jointly they are running this program now. That in each villages or cluster of villages, we should have a processing complex where the things will be at least minimally processed. So this is a plan government has taken, for which we are doing the effort from many times. And another thing I will suggest to the university, because your honorable Chancellor Saab is there, they can promote it, they can establish a center of innovation to promote community interaction and freedom to learn and explore to the students. And every student should be given the opportunity to find their passion and build something of their own. So, and I think for this, what I was talking, that at least 5 lakh rupees fund, which is given by the Ministry of MSME for their innovations, they can avail that. And if idea is good and prototype is doing well, then it can be scaled up and multiplied later on. Next. So thank you very